Welcome back to America Decides. More than a handful of Republicans on Capitol Hill today described the leak of the Signal group chat regarding the Houthis and attack plans as a, quote, mistake. But some went a little bit further, and they tried to downplay whether these sensitive details were really that sensitive in the first place. Let's listen.
There was no locations listed there. There were no sources of methods. There's no specific target. Certainly, there was nothing called war plans, which was an embellishment and exaggeration by a known left-wing partisan opponent of the president.
New York Republican Congressman Mike Lawler joins me now. Congressman, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Look, let's stipulate up front that this set of attacks was different than the Biden administration, that it was carried out well, and it probably did important damage relevant to an important international commercial matter, which is traveling through the Red Sea without being harassed by the Houthis. I don't want to lose sight of that. Stipulate that up front. Are you comfortable that details of that successful mission were conducted on Signal, one, and two, that any reporter, Jeff Goldberg or any other, was inadvertently included?
So a few things here, Major. Number one, I do agree to the stipulation. This was a successful mission, an important mission. The Houthis had been allowed to act with impunity over the last, year and a half under the watchful eye of the Biden administration. The fact is that this was necessary, and I do think the mission was executed well. That being said, as I said the day this story broke, this type of information, this type of discussion should occur in secure locations and using secure platforms. I would note in December of last year, the Biden administration and CISA put out guidance with respect to end-to-end encryption and using apps like Signal for communication and encouraging folks to do so. But obviously, when you're talking about sensitive, information such as this, it is imperative that we take all precaution. And certainly, in this instance, you had a situation where a reporter was added to this group chat. I'm sure we will get, down to how and who specifically. But at the end of the day, anytime you are using an application like this, there is great potential. Not just that somebody be mistakenly added, but we all know, people screen grab conversations. Mm-hmm. There's so many potentials here.
And Mike, let me jump in if I could, because this administration wastes no time in mocking Biden-era rules. So I want to talk to you about what the NSA under the Trump administration said last month. Don't go on Signal if you're discussing anything sensitive. Times of your kid's soccer match, fine. But anything sensitive, don't be on Signal under any circumstances. That's a Trump-era advisory.
Look, I think many people acknowledge this was a mistake. It is something that should not have happened. And I, obviously believe there needs to be guardrails put in place to ensure it never happens again. I do think folks need to acknowledge that and make sure this does not happen. Our adversaries are looking for every, means and method to make sure that, they are able to thwart our efforts. And in this instance, obviously, a very successful mission. But, obviously, when we're talking about national security, we all have to take due caution in how we engage in it.
Mike, do you believe Jeff Goldberg acted in any way irresponsibly in the handling of this matter?
Look, I think obviously folks can have their opinion on how this was characterized, the information that was revealed in the text exchange. Obviously, we saw more information this morning. I think obviously he did not release it in real time, which I think frankly, to his credit, I think that's important. It could have jeopardized the mission. But ultimately, obviously, this is a situation where a mistake was made and it should not have happened. And so, you know, at my point, that is the issue at hand that needs to be corrected.
I also want to talk to you about something that's going on with the Social Security Administration, and not just your district, but congressional districts around the country are slated to lose regional offices. What are you going to do about that? Are you happy with that?
Yeah, so to be clear, field offices are not being shut down. It is specific to hearing offices, and specifically the one that is within proximity to my district, the White Plains hearing office, is about 66,000 square feet. About 80% of these cases are now being heard virtually. There were issues with that office with respect to mold. The Biden administration is the one that put that office on the path to closure. They informed us of that at the end of last year, that this office was going to be closed. I have been working with the administration to find a solution. We obviously want to make sure that people have access when they need a hearing. The field office itself within my district in Rockland County is under renovation. It's been for a year. It is slated to reopen in May. I am working to try to get resolution on the hearing office so that potentially Social Security Administration would allow the Rockland field office to be used as a hearing office as well, which is only about 15 minutes from White Plains. Obviously, we want to make sure people have access to their benefits, have access to the Social Security Administration, and that they get the services they are entitled to here. So I have been pushing back against, the closure, but I want to work towards a positive solution here to address the concerns, but also make sure that my constituents and constituents across this country are served by the Social Security Administration.
New York Republican Congressman Mike Lawler. Mike, thanks. I appreciate your time.
Thanks, Major.